Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jay, and this is Homeschool Yo Kids podcast. Before we get started, special shout out to a couple of our sponsors that are mission to ensure that you do not homeschool alone, because it's not something you should do. So, big shout out to Classical Curriculums, who provide classical conversations, Lordy, who provides curriculum as well as nationwide community support. So anywhere you look, they are there. And as well as Basecamp. Basecamp is a brand new app that was published in February, and they are mission to ensure you find community resources near you. So you could check them out as well. And today we have with us Esam. Esam, introduce yourself.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Esam. I'm based out of Ottawa, Canada. I'm the program manager here at Prequel. I've been in the role for about a year and a half, and yeah, really excited to be helping students achieve incredible things.
Okay, well, walk us through how you made it to preschool, like, the education path. How did you get here?
Of course. So I was someone who always got tutored in math and science when I was in high school. And so when I was in university, I actually started my own tutoring company. Always been very entrepreneurial. And so it was kind of my first foray into entrepreneurship. I learned a lot, realized that I really liked education because we also were doing a few coding boot camps to teach kids how to code. And then from there, at the end of 2021, I started a digital marketing education company. So we were teaching digital marketing and helping people get jobs in digital marketing. Ran that for about 2.5 years, sold the company, and then I joined Prequel as a program manager. So basically, I help all the students in the program achieve amazing things. People come to our 1 year program, and then from there, we help them, achieve great things and get into a top school.
Okay, all right. So you just journeyed through the entrepreneur educational field because you
Yes,
say you benefited from having a tutor when you were in school yourself.
yes,
And
yeah.
so you wanted to continue on assisting family or students, but assisting families essentially. All right. So university, I love how everyone outside of the US just calls college university.
Yeah,
Like, I like that. Sounds so prestigious. So yeah,
exactly.
yeah, right. So okay, tell me a little bit about the Canadian school system. I've had a
Yeah,
couple of Canada resource providers, but I don't think we've ever really dived into like, does Canadian school, like public school, as far as K through 12, does that mirror the US?
yeah, I believe it's very similar. I think the subjects might be a little bit different. I think one of the main things that I notice a big difference in is the college application process or the university application process. So for us, it starts a little bit earlier. We start in the 11th grade. So when
Okay.
in your junior year, some people do it in their senior year, but that's kind of like considered very late. And then in terms of university, it's pretty much the same, very similar concept. Um, and yeah, it's actually very similar.
How was your experience with you went through regular public K through 12? Is it even called public? Is it called public
It's public
school?
school, yeah. So we
Okay.
we have private schools here as well, but I
Okay.
went to public school. And yeah, honestly, I had a great experience. I think one of the things that, actually caused me to like really invest a lot into tutors is, I found that like things were just being taught very quickly, and I kind of needed that more like personalized support because I wasn't able to grasp things very quickly. And so, it was good. I mean, obviously, just like anything, there can be improvements, but it was good.
Cool. And so you benefited from the one-on-one. Like that
Yeah,
was more like sufficing for you.
exactly. Because I think like everyone learns very differently. And so just having someone there to kind of like watch how you learn and then teach you in ways that work for you rather than, one size fits all approach, I think is really important.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. And I do agree. Everyone definitely learns different. Interests are different. We're shaped to be different. It's like, we all have different fingerprints. No one person in all out of all, what, 8 billion people in the world. I don't even know what number we're at now, but no one fingerprint or, mirrors the next, but yet we go to school and everyone is expected to learn on the same path of, okay, this
Exactly.
is this curriculum, you need to go through this. And I always thought that was or I still think that is very, very interesting. So prequel is what? Tell us about it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a lot of different things, but essentially, we help students. So, for instance, like we have a middle school program, we have a high school program where it's an extracurricular program. So it's not during school hours; it's after school hours, and we essentially help students build projects, entrepreneurial projects to learn life skills, build a portfolio, sort of, and then especially in our high school program, a lot of them are trying to get into the top colleges. And so it's very focused on, having a college advisor in the program and helping you get into a top college. And then just recently, they launched a school in Phoenix, Arizona. One of them is called Unbound Academy. The other is called Novatio. And those are more regular virtual schooling. So we actually have like a few families who homeschool their kids. And so they would put their kids into a school like this. And so, yeah, it's like I said, it's definitely a lot of things.
Okay, so prequel is like it supplements with school because it's
Yes.
not necessarily a school.
No, no. So the high school program and the middle school program, the extracurricular one, that one is not a school. It's supplement school. The other one that I referred to is like the one
The Unbound, the one in Phoenix.
that's exactly that one is a regular school. That's virtual though.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
Unbound is virtual, and you said another one,
It's called Novatio.
Novatio. Okay. Those are virtual, and those are regular, like K through 12 type schools.
Exactly. It's for grades 4 to 8, not K to 12.
Quarterly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. So prequel, your services include what? Because I know you listed a couple things as far as assisting with college, assisting with applications,
Yeah.
things of that
Bas-
nature.
Yeah, basically what it is, it's a 1 year program and they get a college advisor in the program and then they also get they start a passion project. So we kind of help them like walk through different exercises where they can learn a little bit more about what they enjoy. And then from there, we help them build a passion project and then just grow it as much as possible. So, we have students who like built a newsletter and started earning twenty to $30,000 a year. We've had students who published a children's book series on STEM. We've had students build AI apps, and so it really ranges in terms of what the student is interested in and what they're looking to do in their future.
Okay, nice. And so this is for, you said middle and high school. So the
Yeah.
middle schoolers get a college advisor also?
No, so for the middle school one is a little bit different. There is no college advisor, but that one is very similar concept where like they start a project and then they try to earn revenue and then like interview a CEO or someone in the space in which they're building in. So it's a little bit different, like a little bit more light scale for the middle school one.
Okay, so it sounds like y'all are creating and birthing entrepreneurs.
Yes, exactly.
That is the goal.
And what's interesting about that is like I think that a lot of people who take this program actually don't end up becoming entrepreneurs later. But what I think happens is you learn a lot of life skills by building something. So you learn how to do research, you learn how to get rejected. You learn so many different life skills that even if you don't go and become an entrepreneur, you still excel in the workplace. You still excel in your school because you learn discipline. You learn to push yourself when you didn't want to. You learn how to do things outside of your comfort zone. So I think that's the idea. We're not necessarily trying to like create like a bunch of different entrepreneurs. We're really just trying to help people learn life skills. And one of the best ways to do that is to start a venture.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I agree, definitely. Especially creating a project from, from scratch, from beginning to end, it is a lot, and it is a learning process. I know with my girls being able to watch me and what I do and what I've created so far, I know that gives them the opportunity because they're also a part of all that I do. And as they let you know all the time, we are the kids. Homeschool
Yeah,
your
yeah,
kids,
yeah.
we are the kids. So they like to be involved, and I like to be able to share with them what I do so that they're able to say, oh, okay, I can do this too, or I can do this, or I could do that. So I think entrepreneur, like even if you're not set out to create entrepreneurs, I think them walking in those shoes definitely helps them withstand a lot of life challenges overall.
Exactly, exactly. And like no matter what they do, if they go become engineers or they become they work in consulting, like you carry those skills with you. They're very foundational.
Yes, and critical thinking, I feel like um, is something that's not necessarily, I guess, like a focal point in traditional school. I could say it's
Yeah.
like everyone goes kind of with the general consensus of things. Like I know when I was, especially when I teach my 10th grade, I taught English and I taught 10th to 12th. I taught middle school. But when I had my 10th graders, when I say there was the most followers I've ever come from, like they just,
Yeah,
whatever their classmates said, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, that.
exactly.
Like, they didn't have thought process for themselves. It was a lot to get them to really think. So I love anything that encourages a child to think or a young person to
Exactly.
think because
Exactly. Exactly. And I think like a lot of kids are very, very curious, but like they don't have an outlet for that curiosity. And I think like just letting them be able to pursue something that they think they enjoy actually just teaches them a lot. Because I think one of the other challenges is like without them trying a lot of things, for example, for me, like I switched programs 2 times in university. And I think one of the reasons why is because throughout high school, I actually had amazing grades. I was one of the top students, but I didn't know fully what I enjoyed. And so, you kind of go and you start university and you're not too sure what you enjoy. And so I feel like, if kids can try more things outside of school, they can learn a lot about themselves and save themselves time and money.
indeed. And you said it's just an hour. So, I mean, an hour, a year
Yeah.
program. So, if people wanted to do it more than or multiple years, could they?
Yeah, they can. So we have some people that choose to do that. I think the whole idea behind it is like in 1 year you've learned the foundations, and then if after that you want to continue and you want to keep growing, you can. But just being able to give them like the foundational skill sets in that 1 year.
Okay. So, what are some of the foundational skills that you all make sure
Yeah, for
that?
sure. I would say like, discipline is one. Like a lot of times you're not going to want to work on it. Teamwork, learning how to communicate with other students, how to communicate with mentors. And then I think the other one is being resourceful because I think like in when you're starting a project, like not always is there a blueprint. So like you kind of have to become resourceful. You resort to AI tools and different things like that to like help you plan out your next steps. I think also like not being afraid to make mistakes because when you don't see results right away and you're making a lot of mistakes and it becomes very discouraging for some people. But I think also like learning delayed gratification as well. And I think that's
Mm.
important in a lot of areas because you don't start a business and then tomorrow someone's knocking on your door trying to buy your product, right? So
I mean, that's
being
how social media makes it look. It's
exactly right,
like,
right. It's like
what? You mean to tell me it doesn't work like
I know,
that?
I know. It's just an overnight success, but
Mhm.
I think for them to realize that teaches them like patience and that you have to, stick with something and even before you get to see the results.
And see, I like how you said the part about accepting mistakes and understanding that's a part of the process. Because
Exactly.
starting something is a lot, and then especially if you start a business on your own. But you learn from those failures, you learn from
Exactly.
those mistakes, and that's what we have to take away. But like I said, social media makes everything look so beautiful and golden. It's like, oh my gosh, like why can't my path look
Yeah.
like that? And he's like, but you didn't
It's
see all of that. You didn't see the rest of the path.
exactly.
You only saw a
It's
couple pictures.
it's really really bad, and I think like obviously social media has a lot of advantages, but I think one of the main like disadvantages is you like it's very easy to look at someone like I don't know, I'm going to use LeBron James as an example and be like, yo, he just he was tall and athletic and he made it, but it's like you don't see the 3 a.m. 4 a.m. like shooting basketballs for 20 years or whatever it is to get to where he is right now. So I think it's like people don't see that. They kind of just see the end result, not the journey. And I think they think like, oh, that's how it always is. But it's really not.
And that's why I feel for this generation coming up because of that instant gratification that a lot of
Yeah.
them seem to like seek. It's like I was using an example of my nephews. I said they all have like, dreams of what they want to do, but they don't necessarily plan what they want to do. It's like they gamble. And I feel like this generation, especially since gambling, like that seems like to be everybody's ad. Like, like gambling is like a big thing right now. And it's like, you don't want to gamble with your future. You don't want to gamble with your life. You have to plan that out. You have to actually say, okay, well, okay, this is the end goal and this is all that I need to do to reach this goal. A lot of people, like we said, that we're not seeing the late night workouts or the early morning workouts. Those are those steps, those plans that reach to the end goal. And it's like
Exactly.
our kids have to see that and know that and not think that everything's going to just
Exactly. Exactly.
so quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's tough because it's like, for example, even for me, like I've had periods where I just didn't go on social media for like months, but then I also do feel like there is an advantage to it, right? Because like you stay connected with like what's going on in the industry, like things like that. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to learn how to like manage it and learn how to not be affected by what you see on it. And it's tough. Like I don't have the answers yet.
I know, me either. Me
It's
either.
definitely
I
tough.
don't. I
Definitely
just
tough.
like to recognize it and say what it is and hopefully
Yeah.
come up with a solution for how we can. And I think it comes with the modeling and prequel. I think that's a great, like, what you all are providing, I feel will definitely assist young people with starting and finishing something. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
that's a big thing. Like even as, at my 40-year-old age, like starting and finishing was a thing for me. Like in my mid 30s, I had so many projects open. It was like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, squirrel, like, oh, no, 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 I need to do,
Yeah.
but didn't finish anything. And so then once I finally honed in on, okay, no, this is what I'm going to focus on. This is what I'm going to do. And these are the steps that I'm going to do it. And it was a game changer.
No, absolutely. I think consistency is like the biggest thing, right? It's like I mean, I'm sure there's like so many quotes and things like that on it, but it's like this idea of like working on the same thing every day rather than working on so many different things. Like we even have a lot of students that come into the program and like they want to start 5 different projects at once. It's so hard to even get one to succeed that it's like what's
Mm.
gonna happen when you try to do a few different ones. So I think it's like consistency is a very like amazing skill for someone to have.
Yes, well, when I asked about the foundation that you all create, and the first one you said was discipline, and I'm like, oh, I didn't learn discipline once again till like my mid 30s.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's like, I was out here real free. It was
No,
like,
it is
yes.
tough. And I think it's like it's a lot of people say like motivation and they watch like motivational videos and stuff like that, and so do I. But I think, one of the biggest things I had to learn in my career is like motivation is a very like free flowing emotion. Like one day you can have so much motivation and the next day you don't. And I think like learning discipline, the way I would like say it is like doing something regardless of how you feel, right? Like if you
Yes.
wake up and you're having a good day, you still do it. And if you wake up and you're having a bad day, you still do it, right? And it just really signals to your brain that like this gets done regardless of how I feel. And I think that is is just like when you have that, you're sort of unstoppable.
Indeed, indeed. You
Yeah.
definitely have said a word 'cause motivation. I listen to a lot of affirming music. I listen to a lot of inspirational speakers because I need that. Like,
Yeah,
it's like we have the motivation, we know what we want to do, but it's just like, the day to day of it all is a lot.
exactly. Exactly.
It's a
Exactly. I'm
lot.
actually curious, like who's someone that you're like that you listen to a lot or look up
Oh,
to?
Wayne Dyer. I love him.
Okay. Nice, nice.
I listen to him nightly. I used to listen to him throughout the day all the time, but I kind of faded back a little bit. But Wayne Dyer is definitely one of my most like proficient go-tos. Like whenever I'm like my mindset is everywhere, or I think, I'm not on my game, it's like, okay, put some Wayne Dyer on. He's
Yeah,
gonna recenter me. He's gonna
it
get me back.
helps.
Tell me who's somebody for you?
So growing up, I was a huge Steve Jobs fan. Like
Okay.
I watched his movie like maybe 10 times. I don't actually have like someone specific. There's someone named Alex Hermosi who I think
Okay.
has gone really good at giving like very specific and valuable advice. He's like one of those gurus who's really exploded. Um, I would say also there's someone named Gary Vaynerchuk. He's
Okay.
also really good and an intense person that I listen to a lot.
Yes, that is needed. It's
Yes.
needed. Like my music, even down to the music that I listen to. Like I said, I listen to a lot of affirmation music. So it's a lot of like repetition of good vibes. Like I know you can do it, or I can do anything. I wake up feeling good. I wake up feeling great. Like, like things like that. It's like,
Yeah.
because everything starts in the mind, and people have to realize just how important our minds are. I talk to my oldest all the time about her usage of words and verbiage of like, I'm just like, focus on what you want to happen, not on what you
Yeah.
think. Like just focus on what you want to happen, because mindset is everything, and we have no idea how much we curse ourselves on a daily basis.
It really is. It really is everything, honestly. And that's something that like I really had to learn. Like the things you say
Yes.
to yourself all the time, it really manifests itself.
Yes, yes, it does. It does. So with Prequel, do you all have coaches, or are they like
Yeah.
are okay?
Yeah, so basically we have like different like advisors. So basically like we have some like two people who are really experts in social media and then two people who are experts on like software engineering and then people who are experts in like just different things. And so like for example, if a student is working on a project and they want some support on like building the product or the app, they book a call with an engineering advisor or if they want to work on their social media, they book a call with a social media advisor. So that type of thing. And that way they have access to all the experts based on who they need, if that makes sense.
Yes. So this is like open schedule wise.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you build your own schedule, or you
Exactly.
build the time or create the time for this.
Exactly. Because I think what happens a lot is like students just have different things. Like they have, sports practice at night and then one of them's free on Saturday and the other one's free on Thursday night. So it's kind of like, it's easier to do that rather than forcing certain
Mm-mm.
times where they have to work.
How involved did the parents have to be?
Yeah, the parents are pretty involved in the sense that like if a student is not really working hard, we'll kind of tell the parent and try to get them involved to try and help the situation. But the parents are mostly involved in just the updates that they get of like, here's what your kid's been doing and because they want to know like what's the update, what have the kids been doing, but that's pretty much the extent of their involvement.
Okay, gotcha. And do you all partner with schools, like regular traditional schools, or
So
is it just independently that you all are gaining your clientele?
yeah, a lot of it has just been through ads and organic social media. And so I've actually been to a few conferences for like FBLA, like Future Business Leaders of America or DECA or some of those. And we've been approached by some like teachers or some schools. And we haven't actually like done much there in that sense, but I do think it makes a lot of sense, especially with private schools, right? Because or even homeschool, like that is a huge. We have some kids in the program who are homeschooled, and I think that is just a great avenue for them.
Yeah, because if y'all are doing projects, I can see the projects working across curriculum. So
Exactly.
involving English, science, history,
Exactly.
technology. So I could definitely see a homeschooler benefiting from this in the sense
Exactly.
that like it will cover a lot of subjects all at once.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Okay, cool. So middle and high school, and it's just a 1 year program. Um, Major project is the focus or a passion project. How do
Yeah.
y'all help them find their passion projects?
Yeah, that one we use like we'll help them use AI a lot to kind of like get different ideas on like what are the things that you've done in your life? What have you enjoyed doing? What have you not enjoyed doing? And I think a lot of it as well is like trial and error of the different things that you've like done and things that you can do moving forward. So for example, we have like an exercise of like finding their ikigai, which is like the Japanese term for like finding purpose and meaning in your life. We have a passion bracket challenge. So basically, like they kind of like rank all their passions, kind of like a sports bracket. We have them take one-on-one calls with like different guides to talk about like life goals and help them decide on a direction. So there's just a lot of different things that we try and do. Again, like it's really never perfect, right? But the idea is kind of to get them to try things so that they can like eliminate what they don't like.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. No, that's major, and I love that. I
Yeah.
love what you all are offering. So, you want to speak on Unbound a little? And the other
So
one
that
that
one,
name just keeps escaping me.
yeah. So those two, like for myself, I'm more so involved in the high school and middle school. I haven't done too much when it comes to that, but as far as I know, because like a different team handles it, but as far as I know, that one is more so like a virtual school, grades 4 to 8, and I think the idea there is like a lot of them are homeschooled kids or kids. That might have a neurodivergence or something like that, where like a traditional school is just not a good fit for them. And so I think it's more of a better solution for them. And I think a challenge is it being virtual, obviously, because, kids want to be able to have fun with each other in real life. But I think we try our best to make it interesting and like have different challenges and have people get to know each other. And like some people, organize meetups with themselves in real life, like with the other students. And so it's very, very cool to see that.
Nice. So it's still a community building aspect, even if it
Exactly.
is virtual. Does Prequel take ESA funds?
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. So that's how the majority of our students enroll in the Phoenix area.
Okay, with ESA.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
What are some other highlights you want to give on Prequel or Unbound?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of highlights, I'd say like we have a lot. I think 80% of our alumni have been to the top 20 schools. And so it's
Okay.
very, very cool to kind of see people because it's very competitive, obviously. So it's very, very cool to see that. We've had people get full ride scholarships at universities like Columbia University. And so it's very cool to see like kids challenging their limiting beliefs and ending up on the other side and being successful.
Nice. I love
Yeah,
that. Yes, because it's like, it's so easy to take the easy path and just chill and fade to the back,
exactly.
especially in traditional school setting, because you're in a classroom full of plenty. And so it's like, I'm going to just do this work real quick and go about my way. But it's like when you're able to actually create, I think that is so important, or be a solution.
Exactly.
Figuring out seeing a problem and figuring out a solution to that problem goes such a long way, and understanding that you have a purpose here.
Exactly.
I think our young
Exactly.
people have to be reminded continuously that they are needed. They are needed, their brains need it, their passion is needed, whatever it is that you desire to do in this world to make a change is needed.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And I think it's really just about like empowering them to focus on the things that they're good at and the things that they enjoy rather than forcing them to do things that they don't really like because they're never going to be good at something that you just don't enjoy at all. You have no passion for it.
Right, that was me. It was Spanish. I still
Yeah.
talking about Spanish. Like, if only I had a fast forward. Like, you wish that you could see a preview of your life, like prior to, so you know what to take seriously and what not to.
Yeah.
Because Spanish would have been something I would have taken seriously. Like, I'm living in daggone Phoenix, Arizona. Like, come on,
Yeah.
like, can't
No,
talk to
exactly.
anybody. But yeah, no, it is a big difference when you're not made to do it.
Of
When you are
course.
not made to do it and you're choosing to do it, the energy is totally different.
Exactly. No, no, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I appreciate you and all that you are doing. I have two more questions for you before I let
Please.
you go. One, with you being a male, and I don't get very many males to grace this platform, but with you being a male, how do you self care with all that you do and all that you pour out? How do you make sure that you are okay?
Yeah, no, that's an amazing question. Like and I've like had periods of like extreme burnout and things like that, and I've really had to adjust my methods. I think one of the biggest things is like prioritizing sleep. I know it sounds so like simple, and I find hustle culture hates sleep, but like
Mm.
it's so important. All right. So like going to bed at a certain time and then waking up at a certain time for the body is so much easier versus like having an inconsistent sleep schedule. So like not just sleep, but quality of sleep. Like how do you have better sleep? Like going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time, getting 10 minutes of sunlight in the morning, like, really looking into like how the body functions, right? Taking vitamins, like making sure that, you get your vitamin D, vitamin B12, all these different things. Not drinking caffeine after a certain time, exercising. Um, I think just like those things are so important. And even though like
Yeah.
they're very easy and a lot of people don't do them, but
Very easy, but a lot of people don't do them.
yeah, yeah, no, I mean it's just like it's easily overlooked, but I would say just prioritizing those things and making them like a huge part of your routine.
Yes, being intentional about you. Because, like you said, that hustle culture will have you thinking you're supposed to be on all gas. No,
Exactly.
no, like, hey, keep going. What, you sleep? Oh, man, you sleep?
Exactly.
No, I tell people all the time, I go to sleep at 9:30, okay? I'm in the
Exactly.
bed early. I
That's
have an early
exactly
start. I probably start earlier than most, but I definitely go to bed early, okay?
exactly.
I'm not a burn the midnight oil type of person. So I love that you said that. And I love that you talked about the burnout, the fact that, there are times that you do have those feelings, because being in the education field, it's a lot.
Of
It's a
course.
lot. There's no way to downplay it. There's no way to minimize, no matter what part you're playing, no what role you're playing in the education. It's a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. So, three things you would like to leave our listeners with. If they didn't hear anything else in this conversation, what are three things you want to make sure they hear now?
Oh wow, that's the three things. Okay. So number one would be um focus a lot of your effort into finding what you love. Number two would be uh, pursue challenges throughout your life. Don't try to take the easy path because I found that like when you achieve something that you think is difficult, you teach your brain a lot of positive things and you actually start to believe in yourself more. Um, and I would say number three, just always stay humble. Like don't ever be cocky or um don't ever think you're better than someone else. Like just because you have more success in terms of your project or your school that you go to or anything like that, I think that, life can change very quickly and karma's real. So just always be a good person and hopefully good things will come back to you.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, of
Thank you.
course.
Parents, listeners, understand that no matter what school setting your lovely is in, you have help, you have assistance. Definitely check out Prequel. It sounds pretty cool. I love projects myself. I love projects. But just remember to, keep on having our kids think and critically think and have their own opinion about things because it's so important in today's world of our follow culture, like with the followers and all that good stuff and influencers. Like you be the influencer. I always remind you, like you want your child to come to you first, so you be the one to keep talking to them and seeking the resources that are needed to ensure that they reach their highest purpose. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Of course, homeschool your kids.